Hi, very good morning to one and all. Very warm welcome to all the listeners of this session. My name is Dinesh Babu from the Department of CSE of Chaparral Engineering College. In today's session, we are going to discuss about some more selectors in CSS. We have already started programming on selectors in the previous session. We have seen the different types of selectors. We have seen the definition of a not the definition, how a selector works, how we can use selectors in order to apply some styles to an HTML page in the previous session. The people who don't understand what is a selector and what are the types of selectors, at the same time, a couple of programs on element selector and ID selector. So they can watch the video of the previous session. If you watch the video of the previous session, you will have a good knowledge regarding the selectors. So in today's session, we are going to complete the remaining selectors in CSS, right? And this may be the last session for unit 1. From Monday onwards, we will start unit number 2, that is JavaScript, right? So if there is time in today's session, I will revise all the topics what we have seen in this unit number 1, right? So let us move to the selector slide. Let us move to the selector slide. One second. Yesterday we have seen about 2 selectors among 5 types. We have completed the element selector, and then we have seen the program on element selector. At the same time, we have seen about ID selector, right? And we have seen one program on ID selector. These are the different types of selectors in CSS. So we have left with 3 types of selectors: class selector, universal selector, and group selector. So let us see what is a class selector and how we can define class selector in HTML. So the class selector selects HTML with a specific class attribute. It is used with a period character, that means full stop symbol, that is dot symbol, followed by name of the class. Yesterday we have seen about ID selector, where it starts with hash symbol followed by name of the ID. Similarly, here class selector will start with dot and name of the class. So we can define some of the styles under the selector, and we can apply all those styles by using the class name while writing the elements of the HTML, right? So let us see one program on class selector, so that we will have some good knowledge regarding class selector. So this is the program what we have seen for ID selector, right? So if you observe the program, here we have defined a hash symbol followed by an ID name. ID name is CSE. So whenever we make use of CSE, all the styles within the CSE will be automatically applied to that particular element, right? So under CSE, we have set 2 styles, that is the text align to right and then color of the text to blue. So for example, here I have used H1 tag, and for H1 I have used the ID attribute, and I have passed the ID equal to CSE. I have passed the ID equal to CSE here. So this particular text, computer science and engineering, will be aligned to right, because here we have mentioned text align right. So the computer science and engineering text will be aligned to right, and at the same time, so the color of the text will be in blue color. And if you observe the above element, that is H1, which don't use any attribute like ID. So this Chevrolet Engineering College will be displayed normal in H1 size, automatically aligned to the left side of the web page, and the color of the text is automatically black. But when we use H1 space ID equal to CSC, that means we are using some ID selector. So the ID selector name is CSC. So the styles within the CSC will get applied to this particular text. So the styles within the CSC are text aligned to right and color is blue. That will be applied to computer science and engineering. At the same time, not only for H1, we can also use the same ID selector for the remaining tags also. If you observe the next statement in the program, we have used a paragraph tag and we have mentioned A to Z alphabets, right? So these things will be automatically aligned to the left because the paragraph default alignment will be left and the paragraph default color will be black. So these A to Z letters will be in black color and they will be in the normal size like paragraph, right? So here we have used the same paragraph tag, but we have used an attribute called as ID equal to CSC. So we have an ID selector here and the name of the selector is CSC. So when we use ID equal to CSC along with the element name in the sense along with the tag name, it may be a H1, it may be H6, it may be a paragraph, it may be a bold, any element. If we use the ID equal to CSC, the styles within the CSC will get applied to this paragraph, right? So this particular A to Z will be displayed in blue color because they are represented color blue inside CSC ID selector, right? And then at the same time, they will be aligned to the right side of the screen. So this is how ID selector works, right? And the same thing can be done in case of class selector. For example, if you want to create a class selector, right? If you want to create a class selector, we have to start with dot symbol, right? We have to start with dot symbol and followed to the dot symbol, we have to mention the name. Similarly here, you can see here in ID selector will start with hash. So we have used the hash symbol and then followed by name of the ID, right? Here also in class selector, it will start with dot symbol. So we can use dot symbol followed by name of the class. Let us consider the CSC is the name of the class, right? Now keep all the remaining things same except here because it is an ID selector, we have used ID equal to CSC. But here we are working with class selector, we have to mention class equal to CSC. Class equal to CSC. And let us observe the output, right? And let us observe the output of this particular code. I'm saving this code, right? It was saved under the name, you can observe here, it was saved under the name id.html. So let us open id.html, which was inside, right? Here it is id.html, right? Let us open this page, right? You can observe the changes what is done for the H1 and P tag, right? So this particular thing, let us compare the two things, right? This is the output. 1 second. Output window and the program window, right? Output window and program window. Top one is the output window and bottom one is the program window. So here we have used the class selector, right? We have designed, for example, let us consider it as center and let us observe the changes. And the text color is, let us take yellow, right? So we have used the dot symbol. That means we are going to define a class and the name of the class is CSC. And that CSC, for that CSC, we are going to apply two styles. That is the text alignment to center. And at the same time, the color of the text to yellow. So we have closed the style tag here. And then we have used the ID selector. It is not an ID selector. It is a class selector. Let us change the title with class selector and let us observe the changes in the output class selector. And then we have used the same H1 heading for two things. We have used the H1 heading for Chebroil Engineering College, and we have used the H1 heading for Computer Science and Engineering. But the difference is that for the Computer Science and Engineering H1 heading, we have used the ID class equal to CSS. That means we are going to apply some class selector, right? We are going to apply some class selector, and the name of the class selector is CSC. That means the styles which are present in the CSC, right, which are present in the CSC will be applied for this particular text. And for this one, we are not going to apply any styles. So this text is going to take some default values. Default values in the sense, color of the text will be black color, and the alignment of the text will be left side of the web page. But this one will have the styles of CSC. That means it will be, the color of the text will be in yellow color, right? And then the text will be aligned to the right side of the, center of the web page. And the same thing happens for these two things, two tags also. P will have no styles, but this P tag will have the styles regarding the CSC. So let us save the code. Save the code and go to the web page and make a refresh here. So if you observe, we got some changes, right? Because of using H1 space class equal to CSC, we have got Computer Science and Engineering at the middle of the page with yellow color. And same paragraph tag has used with class equal to CSC. That means the second series of alphabets, that is A to Z, are printed with yellow color in the middle of the web page. So ID selector and class selector are almost same. There is only one and only one difference. The only difference is that ID selector will start with hash symbol, class selector will start with dot symbol. While we are, if you want to use the ID selector, we have to mention ID equal to ID name within double quotes during the opening tag of HTML. And at the same time, if we want to use the class selector, we have to mention class equal to within the double quotes class name while defining an opening tag of HTML, right? And then we have seen one more selector in the previous session, and the name of the selector is element selector, which is almost similar to internal CSS. In the internal CSS also, we have seen the element name and the styles to be applied to that element. And the same thing we have seen for element selector. So the people who don't understand what is internal style sheet, they can refer to the previous sessions. I have explained what is internal style sheet, and I have shown, I think, one or two programs on internal style sheet. So internal style sheet is almost all same as element selector, and class selector and ID selector are almost the same, where there are minor differences. In ID selector, we use hash symbol, and in the class selector, we use dot symbol, right? So next one, let us move to the let us move to the PPT and see what is the next selector we have, right? So after the class selector, the fourth type of selector is universal selector. So universal selector is used as a wildcard character. It selects all the elements on the page. So we have already seen all these definitions in the previous sessions, but I think most of the people don't understand what are these selectors and what are these types and what are the use of different types of selectors in the previous session. Now I think almost all people got some idea regarding these selectors, right? So on I think on Monday class, on the last Monday class, I discussed about all these selectors, the theory part of selectors. But unfortunately, I think most of the people don't understand what is a selector and what are these 5 types of selectors. But now, after listening to this session, after listening to the previous session and today's session, I hope all you will get some idea. And still, if you don't get idea about regarding all these sessions, you can make a comment in the comment box. Okay. So universal selector is a wildcard character. It selects all the elements on the web page. So let us see how we can define universal selector and how we can apply that universal selector to a web page, right? So let us move to the program. universal selector. So one thing is that universal selector is defined by using a star symbol, right? So let us take a new program here. Let us take a new HTML document, right? And let us start working with this HTML document. So start with an HTML tag, and then start with head tag, and inside head tag, if you want to have some title, right? If you want to have some title, you can have title by using a title tag. So my title is that universal selector. So after giving the title, you can close the title tag, and then we have to use the style tag in order to define styles for this web page, right? We have seen in the previous 3 programs also, one program on element and one program on ID selector and one program on class selector. And here also similarly, similar to all those 3 selectors, we have to define the style tag here, right? Keep one thing in your mind, that for universal selector, we have to define some star symbol. So star symbol, I want the color. I want the color of all the text inside the web page in red, right? And then I want to change the font size. So I want to change the font size. I can use the font size option where I am giving the value as 200 px. That means I am going to use 200 pixels. I want to have 200 pixel size for all the things inside the web page. So you can add more styles. That's not a problem. So here, after the styles are completed, let us close the style tag. And after completion of the style tag, let us close the head tag also. Now let us open the body tag. The actual information what we want to display on the web page should be defined inside the body tag. So body tag, and inside the body tag, let us write something. Let us use a paragraph, and inside the paragraph, I am going to write good morning. Right, I am going to close this paragraph tag, and then I want to use h1 tag. For this h1 tag, I want to print good evening. 1 second. I think it was the last program. And close this h1 tag, and similarly use one more tag. For example, similarly use a bold tag, and in the bold tag print something like good night, and then close this bold tag. So after completion of giving all the tags, close the body tag, and then close the HTML tag, right? So let us save this particular code. Yeah, save this particular code with the name of universal selector. Let us save the code. Save, and then I'm going to save this with the name universal.html, because we have used the universal selector here. It is not mandate. We can use any name, right? So here it was saved here, universal, and it is an HTML document. So let us open the page and observe the output. Right, if you observe the output, please compare both the things. Please compare the this is the code what we have written, right? And then this is the output what we got for this page, right? So here we have printed good morning, good evening, good night. So good morning have been printed with paragraph tag, and then good evening is printed with h1 tag, and good night is printed with b tag. Here, if you observe, we don't apply any ID selector or class selector. Yeah, we don't use any ID or class attributes while defining the elements, right? but we know how the paragraph tag will display the same text. Paragraph tag by default will display text in black color and with some small font size. At the same time, H1 will display text in black color with somewhat higher font than paragraph tag. And then B tag will display text with bold, and the text of color of the text will be in black color, right? So these three things are displayed in different styles. But if you observe the left side of the web page, good morning is with some larger font size of 200 pixels, and the color of the good morning is in red color. We don't apply anything inside the paragraph tag, but still some styles have been applied to paragraph tag. The same styles have been applied to H1 tag. The same styles have been applied to uh, this B tag. That means there are some common styles which have been applied to all the tags in the HTML. Here, if you observe the body opening tag and body closing tag, between these two tags, we don't apply any styles. We don't use any ID. We don't use any class, but still we are getting some styles to all the elements within the body page, body tag. This is possible only with the use of universal selector. This universal selector will start with star, and along with star we can use curly braces, and between the curly braces we can define any number of styles we want, right? So all these styles will be applied to all the elements of the HTML inside the body page, body tag. So as the name suggests, as the name says, that universal selector. Universal means we are going to apply for all the elements of the HTML, right? So this is how we can define an universal selector, and we can write one program on universal selector, right? I think you got some enough knowledge on this. And then let us move to the PPT and see what is the next selector, right? Universal selector is used as a wildcard character. It selects all the elements on the web page. Just we have seen how it will be a wildcard. Wildcard in the sense it will be same for all the things, right? Group selector, the fifth type of selector and the last selector in CSS, group selector. So the grouping selector is used to select all the elements with the same style definitions. So it is used to select all the elements with same style definitions. Let us verify how this group selector will work, right? Let us move to the program, and this is the output window, right? Let us close this output window and let us move to the program here. Yeah, it is the programming window. So let us take one more page, right? So let us start working here. We are dealing with HTML, so we have to start with HTML tag, and then let us define head. Let us define head, and then let us define title tag, and inside the title tag we are going to deal with group selectors, right? Group selectors, and let us close the title section, and then use the style tag, and inside the style tag what the group selector in the sense, at the same time we can apply same styles to not one element, more than two or more than two elements. For example, if I want to apply some styles to a group of elements, for example, I want to apply H1, I want to apply some styles to H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and paragraph, right? So I want to apply some styles to all these things, all these tags, all under that is, we are going to apply same styles to this particular group of elements, right? So here, if I use any of these elements, that means tags, right? Any of these tags inside the body tag, I want all the text which are defined by using these tags at the center of the web page, right at the center. And then I want to have the color of the text which was defined by using these elements as red color, right? And then I want the size of the text which was defined along with all these elements as some 40 pixels. That means I want to have common size for all these things. We all know how H1 will display text, or we all know how H6 will display text. If anybody don't know how H1 to H6 will display text, we can follow the first program of the HTML, which was 2 weeks before, right? So here, if you use font size 40 px means all the elements, that means H1 to H6 paragraph, all these 7 elements will display the text with the same font size. So here we are grouping all these things. We are grouping all these things. So we are applying same styles for all these tags. Okay. So after the completion, right after the completion, you can close the style tag, and then let us close the head tag also, and then open the body tag here. And inside the body tag, let us start working with all the elements what we have defined in the style tag of head section. We have used the H1 heading, and with that H1 heading, I want to print our college name, right? And let us close this H1 heading. And after giving the H1 heading, let us give H2 heading. And I'm just copying and pasting, and I will just change the names here, right? So we have used the H1 heading. We are going to display the same text, because in order to observe the changes according to the style, we are going to deal with the same text. We are going to print the Chabrol Engineering College, our college name, with all the different tags. If you use these different tags, right, so the text size will be very high for H1, and the text size will be very low for H6. But here, all the tags will get the same text size, same color, and then same alignment, right? This is only possible because we have applied some group selector. So group selector will bring, will have the same styles for a group of elements in HTML, right? I have completed using all the tags. So let us close the body tag here. And after closing the body tag, let us close the HTML tag. Now, save the code with the name of group selector, group.html, right? So, and then move to the, right, here you can see there is one HTML document with the name group. So let us double click on this one. And if you observe the things, right, all the things are of same size, same color, right? And then, right, same size and same color. So let us change something here. Let us change something in the program. So let us don't have this particular style. I'm deleting this particular slide here, right? Saving this code. And if you observe the output, here by making a refresh. You can observe here the output. The first line is defined with H1. The second line is defined with H2. Third line is with H3, H4, H5, H6, and last line is defined with paragraph tag B. So there is a lot of change in each and every line. The first line was with a larger font size. The next line was a little bit smaller font size than the first one. And the sixth one was least font size. And the next thing was a paragraph. So all the heading tags are slightly bolded, but paragraph tag is with the light. It is not bolded. So all these changes, these are the following changes that we'll have for all this H1 to P. But by defining a single or a couple of lines of statement inside the program, right? So here we are going to apply some of the styles to all these elements. So we are grouping all these elements and we are going to apply some styles to the group of these elements. So save the code, right? And now make a refresh. Now you can observe the changes. All these things are brought to the center of the page. All these lines are in red color. All these lines have same font size, irrespective of the H1 to H6 headings, because we have applied the same 40 pixels font size for all the H1 to H6 along with the paragraph, right? So this is how a group selector will work. Now I think all you got some enough knowledge regarding this group selector, right? And and with this, I'm going to close today's session, and that's the end of CSS, and at the same time, that's the end of unit number 1. And hope you all practice the things in HTML and CSS, right? If you don't practice, please practice from now, at least from now, right? Practice is the only solution in order to learn and in order to remember the things for a long time. Okay, so I really thank each and everyone for listening this particular video, right?